Hey, this is Vaughn with Spirit of Health, and let's talk about everyday solutions for back to school for children's health. I have 3 kiddos of my own. We want to keep them happy and healthy and focused and well. And now we homeschool, but we do have co-ops and music lessons and other things we go out to, and we encounter stuff out there in the world. And most everybody is familiar with the reality that your children often get sicker when they start going back to school and encountering all these different things. So I want to give you solutions, because we need, as parents, we need to be empowered with solutions so that we don't have to run to the doctor for every little thing. And I want to start with sharing with you that if you go to our website, spiritofhealthkc.com, and you go to the health and wellness section and you click children's, there's actually a free, and I have just a little section of it right here, there's a free children's wellness guide on there that is chock full of all kinds of information. What we put in our medicine cabinet, some of these solutions that you can use every day, there's smoothie recipes, there's all kinds of amazing stuff on there. So I want to start with talking about immune system, because that's what we want to keep strong and well. And these are things I do with my own children, so I'm going to recommend them to your children too. So I am going to start with this pH Balancer by Mother Earth Labs. We use it as a liquid multivitamin. I mean, this thing is loaded with everything. It's liquid, it tastes good. It's gonna get right into the system. It's got, you can look at the ingredients, but it's got all your vitamins and minerals and antioxidants, and it's got enzymes and probiotics. It's got a whole greens formula. It's got fruits and vegetable formula, some things for brain function. This stuff is awesome. So this is just one. Adults, kids, everybody take it every day. In today's world, we're all deficient in something. So if you want to get your basic nutrition, man, get Mother Earth Labs pH Balancer. This stuff is amazing. So I wanted to mention that for prevention. The other thing I really like is I love all of Wish Garden's products. Their products are really solid. This is Kick It Immune. So Kick It Immune is just like it sounds, like building up and strengthening the immune system. It's an all herbal formula, and it's all about building and strengthening the immune system. So you just give them a couple squirts of this every day, just for, again, general overall health. Now, what about when your child is sick or he's starting to feel something? We all know those symptoms where he's just starting to, my head hurts, my tummy hurts, something's coming on. How do you knock that thing out? I'm gonna give you a few things that I think are awesome. I'm gonna start with another Wish Garden problem called Kick It Biotic. So you look by the name Biotic, it's almost like a natural antibiotic. Kick It Biotic, couple squirts of this under the tongue 2-3 times a day. I love the Orego Well, North American Urban Spice. So everything North American Urban Spice is the best quality, because they really fit our heart, our desire that it's as close to the way God created it as possible. Take it out of nature, put it in a bottle. So this product's really good for that. It's the Orego Well. It's these little itty bitty soft gels, super easy to swallow even for kids, and contains concentrated amounts of oregano, cumin, sage, ginger, and cinnamon. Very strong. I love the Orego Well. The thing that I've heard works the best over and over from many parents is the Buried Treasure Children's ACF. So there's an adult version as well. The Children's ACF is awesome. This is the one, again, you take an acute situation to knock something out. It's got things in it that are antibacterial, antiviral, and it's just very, very potent. Again, liquid, gets into the system quickly, works really awesome, so definitely try the ACF. This one, Herbal Defense, I like too. It's a pretty simple formula. It just has some myrrh, echinacea, some peppermint. I love the echinacea for the immune system. It's arguably one of the best herbs overall for the immune system, and I like it. It's affordable and it comes in a big old 4-ounce bottle. So this is a good one to take again in an acute situation when you're trying to knock something out. And what parents need to understand when you're trying to knock something out, you want to do higher dosages. So you might do 2 squirts of this under the tongue 4, 5, 6 times throughout the day. Perfectly safe, and you want to hit it hard. And I'm going to end with something really strong. Your kids may or may not want to do this one. It's called fire cider. And yeah, it's a little bit like fire. You give it to the kids and they're like, wow. But what's funny is my kids actually like it now. And they like the fire cider and the kind of the zing, the warmth it gives them. But I mean, listen to these ingredients. This thing has turmeric, ginger, horseradish, onion, garlic, clove, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, rosemary, thyme, parsley, cinnamon, and there's more. I mean, this thing is just loaded with amazing herbals that will really build the immune system, but also just knock something out that needs to be knocked out. Because one of the keys to knocking out sickness or infection is actually heating up and strengthening the body. We've probably all experienced ourselves and our kids getting a fever, and that is the body's natural response to heating up and killing infectious organisms and removing toxins and things that shouldn't be there. So I really hope that those things help your kids. They've helped our kids and thousands of other people we've worked with. These are some of our favorites. So check all these things out on our website, especially in our immune section of our store, and make sure your kids are ready for school. So I want to mention another thing for prevention, I would say more, that is used every day, and that's actually gut health, because we've probably heard that the majority of our immune function is related to our gut health and our gut function. And so I'm going to tell you a couple things I give my kiddos every single day, the pH balancer being one of them, but another one is this GI Ultramax Pro. So many issues stem from the gut and from digestion. And GI Ultramax Pro is like your all-in-one, perfect, amazing gut formula. And I mean that. I recommend this to hundreds of people. I've used it for years now. Think about what people are buying out there sometimes: a prebiotic, a probiotic, a leaky gut formula, anti-inflammatory herbs, formulas, all these different things. This is like the all-in-one. And so I put this in a little nut milk. It's a powder. That's what's cool about it. So put a powder in a little nut milk. I have a little whizzer, kind of whizzes it up, and it's awesome for their gut, for their digestion, and also you have to think of it when you're thinking gut, you have to think immune. So if you really want to take care of your kids' overall health, take care of their gut, try the GI Ultramax Pro. For a probiotic, I'm going to give you the Humarian Probonics is the company, and this is the children's liquid probiotic. They also have an infant one too. This one's for children, but it's nice because it's liquid, it tastes good, you just drop it under their tongue, it's super easy peasy, and I found this one very good strength, very good quality. Diarrhea, constipation, gas, even eczema. I've seen this clear eczema in kids. I mean, it's an awesome probiotic. So check that out. I want to mention maybe another topic of allergies. Allergies hit people, twice a year. It's around that season when we go back to school in the August and into September. These allergies are flaring up again. So D-Hist Junior is probably my favorite. We have other herbal formulas too, but this is a natural antihistamine. That's why it's called D-Hist. There's a D-Hist for adults. There's a D-Hist Junior for kiddos. So this is any kind of allergic reaction, even like hives, even food allergies, it works for that, but also the seasonal allergies. So get a good natural antihistamine, D-Hist by Orthomolecular. This one I just want to mention, unfortunately, is not on our website right now because the company doesn't allow it. So you actually have to call to order. I just remembered that. So if you do want this product, which is an amazing product, you do have to call the store to order. And then one other thing I want to mention for allergies and sinus stuff. This could even be included in the category of earaches and ear infections, is something called a Navage. And we have used this with our kids very successfully. I always encourage parents to get this. The whole family can use it, but it's a nasal irrigation system. So it's actually a device. You put it up here and it goes in each nostril and it pushes and pulls the fluid through. So you can use just basic salt water to flush your sinus cavity, but we even add all kinds of other fun stuff to it. We'll add humic and fulvic minerals, add a little iodine, different essential oils, but go careful with that, maybe just one drop because it's going to be really strong. But there's all kinds of fun things. We've even added parasite herbs in there. And in the sinus cavity can be mold, fungus, and even parasites. And you got to get those critters and that junk out of there. If the kids are struggling up here with their head and their sinuses, try the Navage. It's phenomenal. It's a great thing just to have in the house. How about when your kids can't sleep, right? Because they're mucousy, they're snotty, they're stuffed up, and they're miserable, and maybe they're having to sit upright, or they want to sleep with you, or whatever. Like they're just, we've seen that so many times with our kiddos where they're just struggling with all the gunk up there. And so right before bed, we'll do this Navage, and it will just clear them out, and then they'll be able to sleep through the night. So this is gold. This is gold like therapy for when your kids can't sleep through the night because of all the mucus. Let's see, what else? Again, get the guide because it's so chocked full of good stuff. Coughs, we have great cough syrup. I like the Dr. Christopher herbal cough syrup. That's a great one. Wish Garden has a serious cough spray, so that's a good one to use if your children are coughing. Earaches, that's kind of a big deal. I'll give you a couple tips on earaches that are very, very simple. One, not every time, but the majority of the time, this is a free remedy, is 3% food grade hydrogen peroxide. Just put a little bit in a little eyedropper, whatever you call it, those little droppers, and just get a few drops of 3% hydrogen peroxide. Put 1 or 2 drops in this ear, give it a minute. Put 1 or 2 drops in this ear, give it a minute. You hear all kinds of crackling going on. And the vast majority of the time, that's all you need to knock out an ear infection. We've seen it over and over and over again. It's also good to use an ear formula. Wish Garden has one. It's a Ear Be Well. It's Wish Garden. And it's an oil. So the oils are really good because they'll sit in the ear and kind of soothe and coat the ear. And most of these are going to have garlic or mullein or some of these other really good antimicrobial herbs that get in there and start working in the ear. So I definitely recommend the ear oils as well. And the other thing you can try are the ear candles, which we have seen those work as well. What ear candles do, like with swimmer's ear, if you've heard of that, is it actually dries out. It dries out that ear canal, which can have too much moisture in it, and that's part of what can get the infection in there. So the ear candles actually help dry out the area, which is why it helps clear the infection. So that's a fun little tip right there. Let's talk, since we're talking about like back to school and kids' sickness, let's talk real quick flus and fevers. This is one I've talked about for many, many years on just my viewpoint of this. Like, we know we're going to get sick. We know our children are going to get sick. It is a part of life. But what is sickness? And just a real good nugget on this for all of you parents, so you don't freak out when your kid gets sick and run to the doctor and get a drug like an antibiotic, because that's so destructive to the immune system. We don't need to do that. We need to be empowered as parents on what you do, what you take at home to take care of your children. And I say this because this is the truth, and I just want to be in humility, say this. I'm in no way saying this to brag or anything like that, but it's the way I feel like it should be. But we have 3 children that are 10, 8, and 6, and we've never been to the doctor. And that doesn't mean that we don't need a doctor one day, or if they broke their arm, praise God, no kids have broken a limb. Of course, we would take them to the doctor. Of course, we understand the necessity sometimes of using medicine, the medical system. But I can proudly say that we have not been to the hospital with 3 kids. And of course, they've gotten sick. Of course, they've had all kinds of stuff. We've dealt with all the stuff you've dealt with. Most of it we've dealt with too. But we just know how to take care of our children at home, which we want you to be empowered to do the same thing. I think it's crucially important. So I say all that to preface that I believe what we call sickness is simply God's design of the body to push out, kick out toxins and poisons that aren't meant to be there, that are interfering with the normal function of the human body. So although, yes, very inconvenient, sickness is not some horrific, scary thing that we've made it out to be. And I feel like that's happened because we often, there's a system that wants us to rely on them to be your only way to get answers or solutions. And I think the answers or solutions are right there with mom and dad, if you guys know what to do. So as with what we call sickness being the natural attempt of the human body to remove toxins and poisons, a fever is the body's natural attempt to heat up, to kill an infection, or to remove something that shouldn't be there. So I say that because most of what the medical system has created are their version of solutions to stop what is happening, right? Let's stop this bad thing that's happening. Let's take a cold medicine or a cough syrup to stop the cough, or Claritin for allergies to dry up our sinus cavity. We're always trying to hinder what God created the body to naturally do. So our philosophy is very different. We're not trying to stop what God's trying to do. We're actually trying to partner and help with what God's trying to do. So with the fever, of course it can get too high. Of course you could be concerned, or it can be dangerous. I'm not saying that there's not a reality to that. But we have not attempted to stop fevers when our child has a fever. We work to help the body work through the fever. Of course, we pray for our children. Of course, we do cold rags and things to help them be more comfortable, get fluids in them, the very basics. But our goal isn't to, I really think one of the worst things you can do during a fever is get a kid an aspirin. And sadly, that is what most doctors recommend, and that's the default of most parents. And so aspirin is toxic to the human body for adults, but especially like little children. Like, we're actually taking a drug that can cause ulcers, stomach damage, kidney failure, liver damage, and we're doing it to our little tiny kiddos because that's what we're told to do. And again, I would just ask the question, why? Or is there an alternative or a better solution? And I would say absolutely yes. So fevers are fermentation, toxins in the body, specifically in the gut. So if you actually want to clear a fever, you need to clear the gut. So yes, do a cold bath. Do ginger tea. That's phenomenal for fevers. But you need to clear the gut and the intestines. So make sure the child's bowels are moving. There's a product called Calm, which is just a magnesium. It's a powdered magnesium. Give the kid some Calm, some powdered magnesium, have him drink it. Give him a little bit more. If you give him enough, his bowels will move. His bowels move, you get the toxic material out of the bowels, the fever breaks. Over and over and over and over. There's books written about it. You just probably haven't seen it or read it. I read a book written in the 1800s by a naturopathic doctor in England who had such clarity on the understanding that the fever is the attempt of the body to heat up and remove toxic material specifically from the gut and the intestines. So another awesome home remedy is castor oil. Now, we might have heard of castor oil from our grandparents, maybe torturing their children. I don't know what you've heard about castor oil. It's kind of an old school remedy, right? But why old school, man? Use castor oil. Like, these are the things people used to use. I give my kids castor oil. If you give your kids castor oil, you can start with a teaspoon. If that doesn't do the trick, you can go up to a tablespoon, play with it. But again, the goal is to get their bowels moving. And if you get their bowels cleared, you'll break the fever. So think about, like, why does the body get diarrhea? Why does the body have these symptoms of the body trying to clear some type of toxin or poison out of the body? So let's see what else with fevers. I think that might be it. I'm not saying don't be concerned or keep an eye on your fever. If it's above, I say 105. Of course, people are gonna have different opinions. That's totally fine. Like, I feel like 105 is the threshold where, man, if it's getting over 105, let's be super proactive. Like, let's take care of that. Let's do something maybe to bring that down. But if it's 103, 104, honestly, like, that's pretty normal. Like, I've seen that so many times with my kids, and they always work through it. The other thing you can do for fevers is take really good, strong antiviral products, like a good elderberry juice. That ACF I mentioned earlier has elderberry in it. An olive leaf tincture. So something this has olive leaf in it too. Like, this stuff has it all in it. That's why it works. That's why everybody likes it. We love this stuff. But yeah, any kind of elderberry, olive leaf, this Oregawell would work as well. All these things work against different types of viruses and bacteria, and whatever the gut is struggling with that you need to clear out of there, the herbs help assist that. But again, the most important thing is clear and move those bowels. So I think that's maybe enough for today. I'm really praying, hoping this information helps you, helps your children go to school without being as susceptible to getting sick. But if they do, again, that's okay. But let's take care of them. Let's empower you to take care of your kiddos at home. Again, so you don't have to run to the doctor, spend excessive amounts of money on drugs that aren't necessarily great for their long-term health. And I know these products will help you, so I encourage you to check them out, check us out, check out Spirit of Health, our website, our store. It is loaded with free information. I mentioned the Children's Health Guide you can download for free. Our YouTube channel has hundreds of free videos. Just check us out. We want to help empower you as parents to keep your children well.